All right, thank you for that, making me very hungry. And Bill as well. We have not had our ribs yet, but we do not want to leave without them.
Well, I'm going to throw a word at you, and you probably understand what it means, but where did they get the plethora of players on Glade Central? It's just amazing to me that there can be so many good athletes playing these positions and making plays constantly, every single one.
Yeah,
it's really fun to watch.
I'm sure a lot of other coaches across Palm Beach County are asking themselves that question as well. What would you do if you had that? All right, so 4th down now. Perez looking for his man. That was Dunkley again. Dunkley rather, back in the game, and that's going to turn the ball over on downs, and that's going to be about the last gasp for Pahokee. Just under 3 minutes left in the game, and Glade is going to get the ball back very deep in Pahokee territory. So you got to give him credit for that. But,
yeah, we're seeing the Pahokee fans starting to head towards the exits, and
first time we've seen empty seats over there all night tonight.
And Dan, what do you think now? Pahokee doesn't win the district because of the forfeit. They're in second, so they got to travel, and they got to play a #1 seed, and they got the injuries. Where do they go from here?
Again, it looks that the sledding is going to be tough for these guys. It's going to probably depend on how well these guys recover. Looking in the end zone, a lot of contact there, but a catch. They are calling that a catch by Kelvin Benjamin once again. And wow, I really hope we have a replay of that one, because there was a lot of bumping and pushing by both Benjamin and the defensive back. We don't want a flag though on this one.
Here comes the replay, and athletic ability is being able to see the ball in the air and turn your body around, and that's exactly what he did. But again, Thomas throws the ball in the place where his guy's going to catch it, or nobody's going to catch it. And I don't know how many yards he's thrown for tonight, Dan, but it's been a bunch.
A boatload of yards. So 1st and goal, and changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
I can't believe it, Dan. We have a penalty. There's a penalty on this play.
Can't you all hear that fat lady saying?
I thought it was a timeout. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't see the flag. No, there is a penalty.
Illegal participation.
Wow.
The only way that illegal participation could occur is if, when Glades huddles, one of the players doesn't cross the restraining line and he's outside the restraining line. And that line is about 8 yards from the sideline. And that was a rule that was enacted about 3 years ago. And now they call it illegal participation.
All right, the clock ticking. Just over 2 minutes left. Thomas going to loft one to the corner. And a terrific catch. Another terrific catch.
Demetrius Evans on the touchdown.
And Demetrius Evans with another catch. And like you said, where do they get so many? And we'll take another look at this one too in a minute, I'm sure. And just a spectacular catch with absolutely no room and 1 foot there in bounds. And you know, we were given a little card asking to pick the player of the game so far, and I know who your choice is, and I think I picked the other guy just to give him a vote, because he's had such a spectacular game.
Well,
but I guess Thomas for you is the
I'm not
MVP.
really sure that you can pick a most valuable player, because there's been so many outstanding efforts.
And the 2-point conversion. Oh no, that's the touchdown.
And you could tell there's not a whole lot of love lost between these two teams, because Glade Central obviously wanted to get another score in.
All right, we're going to have a replay of the touchdown here. A little pump fake.
And here it is. Look at another. Look how much extension he gets. And just snatching the ball, getting his 1 foot down.
And the foot was in.
It's just unbelievable
wow.
how they attack the ball.
And here's the 2-point conversion. And that was Carlton Lewis.
Some hard running. It's going to take a very, very big effort for somebody to beat Glade Center. And I think it'll take a big effort to beat Pahokee in the class that they play.
Well, you know, we had talked before the game about Glades showing stats-wise anyway that they really like to throw the ball more than they run the ball, but they've shown they can do both. I mean, they don't necessarily have to throw the ball. They just are very good at throwing the ball. They've got some terrific weapons.
Absolutely. That can't be overstated. But they catch balls that a lot of people can't catch. They don't have the athletic ability to turn and make those catches. The easiest pass of the whole night was dropped, and all the tough ones have been caught. So, I mean, you're right. You get the one-on-one matchup. A lot of Randy Mosses on this team.
And now just a pooch little kick that's going to be fielded at about the 30, and that's where he's going to stay. Norris White is brought down.
As we would say as a coaching staff, you can tell the blood in the water, and Glade smells that blood. We got another flag down.
Oh boy. Well, we want to, you know, at this take time to thank some of our crew members. Kevin Bear, of course, our executive producer. The only man who probably could have gotten this thing done 4 years in a row, and we thank Kevin, certainly. Greg Kenny, our director, our camera folks, Alan Locke, Edward Carr. I'm not going to name the whole crew, but everybody on the crew has done a great job, and love the replays tonight. We've had some terrific replays as well. Derek Morrow.
It's going to be very interesting to see how Pahokee bounces back from this, losing who they lost. So it's just going to show some character. They're either going to pick themselves up and go after that state title, the fourth one, or they're going to fold.
Yeah, both teams at this point have still have a shot to win a state title, and Pahokee has won 3 in a row, so they'd be going for number 4. But, hating to go back to your point, what else can happen to them in what's been a really rough year for them? This doesn't look good going forward for them, but who knows?
Well, it's been a very strange year for Pahokee with the off-field things, and I'm sure Coach Thompson is about ready to pull his hair out. He comes into this game, gets the big break at halftime, but then he loses 2 of his best guys. And now you got to go play a playoff game next week.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard one to take for Pahokee. They really did fight, and boy, after that, at the end of that first half, you thought they really got a chance to win this game. But the injuries to their top players, I think, was a hard
injuries
one.
And penalties. If you remember, they were driving and at the 30-yard line to go ahead, and they got 2 penalties in a row.
Here's Perez thrown to the sideline, and Johnson reaching one hand up to try to snag it, but it was too high. 1:44 to go.
And we've got Perez in the game. I really like the way he throws the football, but once again, 2 of the best receivers are not available to him. So you can concentrate on Johnson and that kind of thing.
Yeah, Perez is a junior, so he'll have another year to develop and see if he can lead this team. Off the right side, a nice hard run there by Hall, who fumbles.
Well, we can add a fumble recovery
for Mr. Dent.
That ball was fumbled forward about 10 yards. We got a Glade Central player down in the middle of the field. Here's the run. Nice hard run by number 11, and
ball's out.
Coming from behind.
Oh, and he hit it with his knee. The Glades player hit it with his knee.
can't quite catch the number of the player down for Glade. But I really hope it's not a serious injury, because these kids played hard, and you just don't want to get these injuries at the end of the season.
Yeah, I agree. We'll be talking with hopefully a player from both teams after the game. Minute 30 to go. And that looks like it's that number 13 coming off. There is no number 13.
I believe it was 17.
17. Dominic Gibson.
And he looked like he came off under his own powers.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. Now let's see. I'm not going to risk throwing the ball if I'm coaching, but.
Well, at this point, you would hope they would keep it on the ground and run things out here, but they're not going to. Going deep, and he's got a man and a touchdown, and oh my word. And there is a flag for excessive celebration.
And correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't that the backup quarterback that just threw that ball?
Yeah, who I believe threw it to, Jamie Wilson, who's listed as a defensive back, but obviously can catch the ball as well.
Alanda Shaw, senior, Coach Hester puts him in the game probably for that specific play, and he airs it out about 50 yards and hits the receiver dead in the hands. And he's probably going to play quarterback for almost any other team around here. But
wow.
He's got Thomas in front of him.
Was that a little mean as a coach? Or if you're on the other sideline and you're Blaze Thompson, are you upset with that?
You know, I've always taken a lot different opinion about that. Here's my theory. It's my job to stop you. If I can't stop you, then I shouldn't worry about running up the score. And with the rivalry between these two teams, I just don't believe in the running up the score. It's Pahokee's job to stop them,
right.
Period.
However, I have been on the top of many press boxes in my days, and I know that at least some position coaches, defensive coordinators and stuff, will take stuff personally.
Oh, absolutely.
Near the end of a game like that.
Absolutely. And quite honestly, it's just one of the reasons you take it so personally is because it's human nature to lay some blame somewhere else. And, we've all been in that position.
Okay, so that was called back, obviously. Not a touch, or, almost another tremendous grab. Now
the ball got down.
Okay, so the penalty was taken. That was a 2-point conversion try. So the penalty for excessive celebration brought them all the way back to the 20-yard line.